Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have Meredith Caram, the Chief Revenue Officer of the JS Group. Meredith is a business expansion leader with experience leading diverse sales and marketing teams. After spending over 18 years with AT&T as an Assistant Vice President of Partner Management, Business Development, and Business Channel Marketing, Meredith went on to serve as VP of Global Distribution at Intrado, VP of Sales at Citricom, and CEO of Syzygy LLC before joining Janet Shines and her ever-growing team of industry professionals. Meredith, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Steve. I can't believe it's taken so long for us to come together.
I know, but you just joined Janet, right? Just a few months ago?
Yes, but I'm sure our paths have crossed at other business events. But, since neither one of us have been on an airplane in over a year probably, it's nice to see you and meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you too. It'll be fun to meet you in person someday soon, I hope.
Yes.
Well, you know that I'm a huge fan of Janet Shines and her team at the JS Group. Talk a little bit about the services that are offered at the JS Group and who those services are focused towards helping.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you. Let me first say thank you to you to express a little gratitude for being a fan. We really, really appreciate it. We know that you have a big following, so hello to everyone else who's watching right now. The JS Group, really, we are the go-to-market channel experts. And so anything that is channel related, trying different approaches, we all know that the traditional ways of like sales and marketing, those are incredibly dysfunctional right now. And so we work with firms and vendors and suppliers to help them come up with integrated models and new models to go to market that help give them a competitive edge over others in the industry.
Very good answer. Very good answer. And you got that in just a couple of months. That's pretty good.
It's been less than a couple of months. I think it's really been like 61 days or something. I'm not sure. Total days. Like total days.
I'll cut you slack. Well, Meredith, you've had an incredible career. What attracted you to join the JS Group as their CRO?
So the career is interesting. I was at AT&T for almost 2 decades, as you mentioned, always in a role to be as close to the customer, as close to the partner as possible. That's really where my passion is. And after AT&T, I moved on 2 other journeys, actually, to be able to say, not only do I have experience with global, huge business, but I also have experience inside, large, medium business, and also inside a small business. And then I decided to go and start my own company as well from a consulting perspective, but I'd never done anything with it. And back in the AT&T days, Janet and I had met at shows because I was a fan of hers. And, I was always on the front row, like a groupie, to clap and like get excited for her town halls and her keynotes. And when she brought puppies to a show, I was like, who brings puppies to a show? And of course, it's Janet. And so I always had just a lot of respect for her. And so we were always like, mutual friends from a distance kind of thing. And then I reached out to her and she came back to me and she's like, hey, what are you doing? I've been thinking all night about you. Let's work together. So it was literally a couple of text messages, going back and forth and then putting our strengths together. And as you know, JS Group, Janet has a powerhouse team of mavericks, like people in the industry who have street cred, they make it happen. And so it was really kind of okay, how about right now? It wasn't a let me think about it or when, it was let's go.
That's great. Yeah, she's high energy, and I'm surprised because I've been in the front row clapping for her as well. So I must not have turned to my right and seen you in the front row.
You might have taken my chair a time or two. I'm not sure.
Probably did. Well, Meredith, I know you're aware there are millions and millions of people watching this right now. What's the one thing that you want to tell sales partners, provider executives, and business leaders right now?
Right now, I would tell you that learning is critical. We saw over the past 12 months more change than what we would typically see in over a decade. And so those people that change will be successful. Those who don't will not. And so one of the elements of change is to be learning. And so we've seen this rise not only of the customer experience, but also the employee experience, and providing employees with psychological safety. This new hybrid work environment where people don't have a set office space, but they can go in and sit wherever they are, and it might change. And then having work like sanitation crews coming after them. We've seen a lot of new models with proximity and technologies to show how many people are in an area at a time. And so you have to be current, you have to be learning. No one was prepared for the pandemic. And so that would be my one thing, is that let go of what has happened in the past, move forward, and focus on learning 100%.
Well said. Well said. The industry paradigm has been shattered, and people are on the edge of their seat trying to figure out where the next wave is and how to interpret, adding value to the indirect channel. And JS Group is perfectly positioned to help people with that. Well, I know you are a big fan of the Top Gun Show, and I always end the show with something personal, a personal thing about the guest. So why don't you tell the viewers a fun or interesting little-known fact about yourself, other than the fact that people mistake you for Eva Longoria, Desperate Housewives, all the time?
Thank you very much. So I would say a fun fact about me, and this is perfect timing. You might disqualify it, but I'm going to try it anyway. And if it makes it, then okay, great. If you want to cut it, fine. But I'm a Baylor Bear for my undergrad. And so I am a huge basketball fan. I love the NBA, but more than the NBA, I love NCAA. And so Baylor is in the Final Four. The men's team, the ladies team totally got screwed over. We all know that was a foul at the end of the game. They should have won. Let me let that go, because that was my advice for people. Let things go in the past, right? This Saturday night, Baylor Bears, I'm a huge fan, and that's what I want people to know, is that I love basketball.
Hashtag it really was a foul, right?
Great.
Well, Meredith, thank you so much. I want to thank you for being on the show today. You got great energy, and I know you're going to do fantastic things with Janet and her large, ever-growing team at the JS Group. Thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see who you have next on the show.
Keep watching.
Okay.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody.